plays chess, and so they're in the chess club, or they may like somebody in band, and so they start to get in band. They start to really enjoy playing music, and that flourishes and becomes something else. But what I am saying is, we have delayed the idea of maturity in our culture. We've delayed it and said, well, you don't have to figure out what it is that you want to do. Just kind of meander around. And because we've delayed adolescence and just pushed it back and pushed it back and pushed it back, we've said you don't really need to grow up during your high school years. You don't need to grow up during your college years. You don't need to grow up into your young adult. After all, you're still figuring this thing out. You're still figuring out your passions. You're doing what you don't want to do so that you can someday do what you want to do. And you're just sort of just going through the system. You're going through, you're figuring out what you really want to invest yourself in, and what you're going to be satisfied, even if that's not something that's a doctor or a lawyer or making a lot of money. You're going to be satisfied doing that thing because you love that thing. And even if it pays less and your standard of living is lower than other people's standard of living, you're satisfied with that because you're satisfied with yourself and what it is that you're doing and how God has created you. That's fine. But let's be very careful that we don't get ourselves into the place where we just say, well, you don't have to figure it out. We're just going to delay adolescence. 30 years old, 40 years old, you may at some point need to figure it out. No, folks need to start getting married. They need to have some babies. We're about to go off the cliff in terms of our population, but that's another episode for another day. That's why I need a 2-hour show.
How do I fit into this world? The system doesn't seem to care. There are so many greatly talented people who failed in the traditional school system.
That's amazing. I didn't know that Winston Churchill had a C average in school. What is it? A students teach B students to work for C students. You better watch some of those C students. You better watch some of those C students. I was a C student in seminary. You better watch us. I'm just simply saying,